En ordonnans kom springande.
An orderly came running out through the thick pine forest on a rainy 4th of September, calling out, "An armistice is being declared today at 7.
Vapenstillestånd idag klockan 7.
It was hard to grasp, really. You suspected that they would just reload their weapons and throw everything they've got at us again one fine day. We couldn't really believe that peace would come, even if everyone was really tired of the war and wanted it to end.
The tiny Finnish army had battled against the Soviet forces for over 3 long years when an armistice was finally declared, with the Soviets withdrawing their demand for Finland to capitulate. But this nation of just over 3.5 million had to pay a massively high price. 500,000 refugees were in dire need of help. 450,000 soldiers had to be repatriated. All this while a new war had started against Germany, and Soviet demands for war damages and influence seemed insurmountable.
The Soviets were far weaker than they appeared outwardly. The saying went that if the Red Army had had enough boots in stock, they'd have marched all the way to the Atlantic. But the fact is, they had no boots. Those of us who came home from the front had taken to hiding weapons in case of a possible occupation. And we're not talking about the odd rifle. There was a massive stockpile of weapons in Finland. Sweden was Finland's only friend on the international political map. It was the only state that treated Finland as a priority issue.
People made a point of not talking about such things, the consequences of the war. Many of them took to the bottle. They became alcoholics and never recovered, with the memories of the war fresh in their minds.
Many of them committed suicide after the war, some rather soon after it ended. Well, I had a friend who took his life 50 years or so later. Decision makers in Finland, politicians, diplomats, the military as well, who were in service then, and for that matter during the Cold War as well, they bear the marks, the legacy of what they experienced. That's completely lacking among the new generation, who weren't around during that era. They could look the monster in the eye.
On the matter of rebuilding Finland, I was wholehearted for getting down to it and thinking positively and doing positive things.
We hadn't won that war. Neither had we lost it. But what was most important was that Finland had survived.
Finland had, against all odds, survived the war. Now they had to survive the peace, under the shadow of Stalin.